In a bustling city, there lived a man named David, a humble employee struggling to provide a decent life for his family. David was known for his honesty and kind heart, but he lived under a strict legal system that was often said to be fair to everyone. However, in that city, it was common knowledge that the law is blind, and sometimes it failed to see the injustice in front of it. One day, as David was heading home after a long day at work, he witnessed a disturbing incident. A group of wealthy young men, the sons of influential figures in the city, were racing their luxury cars down the highway. Suddenly, one of the cars swerved dangerously and crashed into another vehicle driving slowly in the right lane. The car belonged to an elderly woman named Mary, who was completely innocent in the situation. David, having seen everything, rushed to help Mary and took her to the hospital. Her condition was critical, but thanks to quick medical attention, she survived. David felt a deep sense of responsibility after witnessing the accident, and he decided to testify against the reckless young men, hoping the law would bring justice to the elderly woman. A few days later, David was called to testify in court. He entered the courtroom, nervous but determined. His belief in justice was stronger than his fear. Upon arriving, he was shocked to see the wealthy young men laughing and acting as though nothing had happened. It became clear to David that these young men were using their family's influence to manipulate the legal process. During the trial, David bravely gave his testimony, stating that the accident was caused by the reckless and irresponsible behavior of the young men. Despite the clear evidence and his testimony, there were hidden forces at work. The young men's lawyer, one of the most powerful attorneys in the city, exploited legal loopholes and likely used bribes to downplay the severity of the case. In the end, the court's verdict was announced. The young men were acquitted due to insufficient evidence, and the blame was shifted to the road conditions. David walked out of the courtroom shattered, realizing that the law had turned a blind eye to the truth, not because the evidence was lacking, but because the power and influence of the wealthy had overshadowed justice. Mary never received the justice she deserved, and the young men returned to their lives without facing any consequences. David learned a harsh lesson that day. The law, which is meant to uphold justice, can sometimes be blind, not just in its impartiality, but in its ability to see the truth when power and wealth are involved. Moral of the story is: the law is blind, not only in the sense that it treats people equally, but sometimes it is blind to the truth when power and money come into play. In such cases, the law can fail to serve justice, especially when it is manipulated to cover up wrongdoing instead of delivering fairness.